The messages and demands of the demonstrators for gender equality, human rights and freedom in Iran. In this video, we will hear from some of the tens of thousands of people who attended a rally in Vancouver on October 1st. They gathered in solidarity with Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old Iranian woman who died in the custody of Iran's morality police for allegedly wearing her hijab too loosely. Her death sparked protests in Iran and around the world, calling for an end to the oppressive regime and its violations of women's rights and human dignity. We will also learn about the petitions and campaigns that the demonstrators are supporting to pressure the Canadian government and the international community to take action against the Iranian regime and to stand with the Iranian people who are fighting for their freedom. Some of the messages and demands of the demonstrators are: we want justice for Mahsa Amini and all the victims of Iran's brutality. We demand an independent investigation into her death and the prosecution of those responsible. We also demand the release of all political prisoners and protesters who have been arrested, tortured, and executed by the regime. We want gender equality and human rights for all Iranians. We reject the mandatory hijab law and the morality police that enforce it. We support the women and men who are defying this law and expressing their identity and individuality. We also support the LGBTQ+ community, ethnic minorities, religious minorities and other marginalized groups who face discrimination and persecution in Iran. We want freedom and democracy for Iran. We denounce the dictatorship that has ruled Iran for over 4 decades with corruption, violence and repression. We support the people's right to choose their own leaders and their own future. We also support the secularization of Iran and the separation of religion and state. We want Canada and the world to stand with us. We urge the Canadian government to condemn Iran's human rights violations and to impose sanctions on its officials and entities. We also urge the United Nations, the European Union and other international organizations to intervene and to hold Iran accountable for its crimes against humanity. We hope that this video will raise awareness about the situation in Iran and inspire more people to join us in our struggle for freedom. The world is watching and we will not be silenced.